Today's gospel introduces us to a woman with whom Jesus cultivates a deep and intimate friendship. The scriptures, brief as they are in today's liturgy, paint a rather detailed picture of Martha, her personality, her virtues, and yes, even her shortcomings. Martha comes across as an extrovert, a take-charge kind of personality, a woman of action. You know a Martha in your life, perhaps you even are one. We also see that she possesses at least two virtuous qualities: the virtue of faith in Jesus and the virtue of hospitality. And these virtues inspire Martha not only to welcome Jesus into her home, but most likely also the 12 apostles. But what of course jumps out at us most in the gospel passage are Martha's shortcomings. And Jesus sums them up very well when he says to her, "Martha, Martha, you are anxious and worried about many things." The Lord, who sees into the heart, looks into Martha's heart and sees that it's not just one thing that Martha is anxious and worried about, but it's many things. There is, of course, the matter of getting dinner ready and setting the table and keeping everything warm without a microwave for 13 hungry men. All that has her a bit anxious and worried. But I suspect that these are probably the least of Martha's many worries and concerns. Right? Now, I'm speculating here, but Martha was more than likely also worried about some of the things that worry us. Financial issues, politics, both civil and ecclesiastical, personal health, and maybe also past and present sins that we're struggling with, or perhaps she was worrying about worrying too much. We know that Martha got worried about family matters. Right? It's rather revealing, for example, that she asks Jesus to tell her sister to help her. Weren't the two of them talking to one another? Then we also find out later that Martha's brother, Lazarus, has some serious health issues, right? Which must have also created some anxiety for Martha. And probably most of all, Martha was anxious and worried about her friend, Jesus, and his mission. She worried about how cold and dark and loveless the world was. She worried about how Jesus' enemies were planning on killing him just 2 miles up the road in Jerusalem. She worried that all the good that Jesus was doing would be in vain. So with all these thoughts stirring in her mind and in her heart, Martha looks to her sister Mary, who seems to her to be wasting her time, doing nothing. And in a moment of agitation, she asks a very telling question. "Lord, do you not care? Do you not care that my family's life is a wreck? Do you not care that my sister and I aren't talking to each other? Do you not care that my brother could fall ill or dead at any moment and leave us financially strapped? Do you not care that I'm falling into the same sins over and over again? Do you not care that tonight's supper is going to be ruined? And that it may very well be your last supper if the Pharisees finally succeed in bringing you down? Do you not care what is to become of us disciples if that happens?" To this, Jesus replies, "Martha, only one thing is necessary, and your sister has chosen it. You see, Martha, Mary has all of the same anxieties and worries that you have. And in fact, she has a few others that you don't. But Mary brings her worries to me in prayer. Mary takes the time each day to sit at my feet and to let my words permeate and transform her heart. In doing so, Mary has all of the problems that you do, but she is no longer so anxious or worried about them because she knows that there's no problem that is too big for God. Mary has chosen the better part, Martha, and she has chosen the peace and the serenity that her daily prayer gives her, and that will not be taken away from her. Nor will it be taken away from you, Martha, if you would only be sitting at my feet for a few moments a day to learn from me. It seems that Martha took Jesus' offer. She took up Jesus' offer that day because the next time that we see her in the Gospels, it's when Jesus visits her at the death of her brother Lazarus. And it's a very different Martha that we see at that point. On that day, Martha says to Jesus, even now, in the midst of this crisis, I know that whatever you ask of God, God will give you. For I have come to believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, the one who is to come into the world. How such confidence? Mary learned to sit at the feet of Jesus and to listen to him and to surrender all of her cares and anxieties and worries to him, who is in control of all. May all of us, Marthas, anxious and worried about so many things, learn to bring our cares each day to the feet of Jesus and to choose the better part so that the peace of Jesus may reign in our hearts.